Join us on another adventure with Wild and Free
Interior Alaska.
As I mentioned in phase 17, I said I would share with you what our journey looked like when we were leaving our cabin on one of our most recent trips. It was absolutely flat light, kind of terrible conditions, and I figured you would just love enjoying seeing me do some beautiful karaoke in our off-grid cabin. Obviously, no drinks were involved, so let's go ahead and check out what that journey looked like. Also, sorry for all of the wind noise that you were about to hear on our journey. It was brutal out there. It's currently 9:30 in the morning, and if you've been with us, you know that there is a mountain over there. You can kind of see a little bit of the outline, but you can't see any of it up there. You see a little bit in between there. So it's extremely cloudy. We're going to be dealing with flat light issues when we are on our way back in a little bit. So I think we're going to try to wait and see if it clears up a little bit and we get more light, because it also snowed about 4 inches so far overnight. And between the fresh snow, so you're not going to be able to see our tracks because these are our freshest tracks yesterday. We haven't made tracks out on the trail, and it snowed a little bit yesterday as well. So it's going to be really difficult to see our trail returning back home with the fresh snow plus the flat light from the clouds and lack of sunlight. As you get to the top of the mountain peaks, everything is just going to look white, and it's going to be very difficult to discern where a drop-off is and what direction you need to go. So I'm hoping that we don't have a miserable time, especially because my husband is feeling quite ill. I'm not great, but I'm not nearly as bad as him. So I'm hoping that this doesn't end up terrible, but also our highway home probably isn't going to be plowed. We probably have between 6 to 8 inches on the road of snow while we're hauling the trailer with the snow machines. So we're hoping that we get home safely. No matter how long it takes, we will just take our time. It has warmed up though, so that is what happens with the clouds. So at least we won't be freezing on our way back. So that's a plus, but we'll see what it looks like here in a few hours. My husband's heading out, if you can hear it in the distance, to go collect the traps and check them. Meanwhile, the boys have been very creative, and they've been building some swings for their stuffed animals, right? Out of some cardboard and string. You just gotta give them some tools and unleash their imagination, and they will entertain themselves for hours so far this morning. Kind of also works like a little elevator, right?
Yeah.
You were lowering stuff down to us, and we were sending you stuff back up.
Yep.
That's our inReach. We'll have to see how much snow they got back home. As we were heading out, so we're checking in with them.
And I can keep it right here, too.
Looks like back home we have around 6 to 8 inches of snow. So we gotta plow when we get home. So we're gonna have definitely an interesting way back, because here in Alaska, they don't plow our roads for usually 3 days. So there's about 6 to 8 inches of fresh snow on the roads that we will be driving through, towing a trailer. So we'll go nice and slow and easy and hope for the best.
Just see the smoke coming up from our cabin. Right there. Coming up here and going that way.
So we are trying to make our way back, and it's pretty miserable. Some of my least favorite conditions to ride in, because it's flat light. You cannot see ahead of you as he's making the trail. It's getting blown over immediately. As you can see, you can't really see at all, and it's just been literally 29 seconds that I've been recording this. I can't see far ahead of me where he's going. It's really important that I stay in the trail, because with my weight, and as soon as that I get off in these conditions, it just pulls you into deep powder, except for here, it's windblown. But a lot of the trail, and it's also extremely difficult to know where the drifts are, so you don't know where to shift your weight because you can't see that there's a drift. It looks nice and flat and like it would be easy riding, and then you come up on a drift and surprise, you gotta shift your weight and it might be too late. It's very, very difficult. I am not having a fun time. This is some of the most difficult riding I think out here is when it's flat light like this and you just can't anticipate what's ahead of you.
Unfortunately, with the direction I was standing, the wind noise was too strong, so you could not hear what Cameron had to say, but he said it was very difficult to see ahead of him. There was very low visibility and difficulty seeing where the objects are.
Yeah, so we gotta make it up that ridge still, and it's really difficult to even see where the path might be. So yeah, we're just kind of taking our time. It's the best thing that we can do, but it's really difficult, and I know there's a lot of wind noise, but I think that, you know, that helps for you to see the reality behind what it's like and how the conditions can change so rapidly out here.
We made it up the ridge fine. It was difficult to maneuver, and this big mountain here that you normally would see huge in front of you is extremely difficult to see, and it's only a small portion of it.
Looks like they need a fat person.
Okay, so as you can see, I was kind of stuck. It's very deep right through here. But we managed to get out and get going. I needed the help of Cameron's weight to get it back straight up and down. Yeah.
So we're back at the truck. You can see the snow's drifted quite a lot since we were gone. Hopefully we can get out of here without an issue. This is always the windiest part of the whole area.
We made it back safely, but it did take us about an hour and 45 minutes to do so, but luckily we were only stuck that one time.
So we made it out of our cabin and now onto the road.